So let's talk about the basics of EMDR. When I was in training, one of the things they talked about the most was called therapist drift. Therapist drift is when the therapist trains in a specific model of treatment, like EMDR, and then over time, they put their own kind of personal spin, or let's be honest, they kind of forget some of the basics. So the therapist use of EMDR is different than the core model. And in the most times, it's going to be less effective. So let's talk about one thing that is in the core training of EMDR. It is activating what's called a core emotional memory. Now with EMDR, in order to be effective, you're locating a memory that evokes an emotional or physical response. It needs to create that current spot so that you know, hey, that is still alive and active in your brain. That gives EMDR its big power, which is to activate a traumatic memory or a core emotional memory, and then use bilateral stimulation to add in your current adult memories to that trauma to therefore integrate it from multiple perspectives. Usually trauma gets its power because it's from a singular black and white extreme perspective. Like in childhood, we view things as life or death, or in a car accident, it really is life or death. The perspective of that moment gets locked in its severity, and the neurons get created that are that strong. So EMDR combines that experience with all the rest of experiences of life to bring down some of that immediate response. So if you're working with a therapist who has not gone down the level of therapist drift and is doing EMDR, make sure that they are locating the core emotional memory and that is where you're starting from with each set until you don't feel the trauma about that core emotional memory anymore. I hope that helps.